But I can see the pressure on your show because I mean you have hypercars that come to your show.
Yeah.
I mean you have that F40, right?
Yeah.
I mean that
My
was
good friend.
that was like
Yeah, I love
car
that
I
guy.
used to see on a postcard or when I was a kid.
He drives
magazines.
it. That's a driven car,
Yeah.
meticulously taken care of. I think it's a Classique certification with
Yeah.
Ferrari. He bought that from Curated in Miami. And I mean, he took it to this rally, the Curator rally from Utah through whatever states, you know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what state. Oklahoma, I think from Utah to Oklahoma, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, he drives that car, and that thing is in
awesome.
beautiful condition. I had Ben Collins drive his car at Circuit Florida. Ben Collins was ripping it.
Yeah.
And the guy standing there didn't even break a bead of sweat. He didn't care. He's like, he's looking, he's like, the Stig is driving my car. And then his son, who's like 7, I believe, his younger son went and he was like, you want to ride in this, you know, in the F40 with the Stig? He goes, yeah. So his 7-year-old son goes and gets a ride with the Stig in his dad's F40.
Yeah.
On the track.
mean, that's on the track.
On the
that's
track.
a core memory for anybody.
Absolutely.
Like, you grew up watching Top Gear, and here's this guy who also watched Top Gear, who now happens to own an F40, you know, and he's like, hey, Ben Collins, you want to drive my F40? And it's something I organized and coordinated, you know, and it was just incredible. And Ben Collins, by the way, what a nice guy.
Is he?
Yeah, the Stig, man. I just couldn't believe, like, I know the Stig.
That car,
it's incredible.
that car, every time I see that car at a show, I'm like, when are you going to make it to our show? That's, if there's one car that I can choose.
You want him?
That F40.
I'll make it happen.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Because Saturdays are easier for him than Sundays.
That car is, if you just, I mean, I love many cars. There's many cars that I hope they make it to my show. But that F40 to me is like the car to go to our show.
Okay.
And it's just personal. When I was a kid, you know, flipping through magazines
absolutely.
and you can only dream, right? And at that time, and it's like, wow, an F40. And now they're classic cars, antique cars. So now it's like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's an F40.
It's
And some people don't know what that is, but a lot of people do. And especially, you know, the older generations know that, like, and it's a Ferrari F40. That's probably one of the first $1 million cars, right?
when they were new, they weren't $1 million.
They weren't?
No,
I thought
no,
they
no.
were up
I mean,
there.
not even the McLaren F1 was $1 million.
Oh.
I think the McLaren F1 was like 400 or something like that when that first came out, and they got cheaper than 400.
Yeah.
There was a point in time, 15 years ago or so, where F1 was, I don't know, 350.
Yeah.
You know, and then they got up to 800, and they're like, ooh, 800, and then like one sold for over $20 million.
And then
You know,
all-
Rowan
all went from there.
Atkinson, Mr. Bean, crashed his, completely destroyed it twice, and McLaren rebuilt it, and that still sold for like 10 plus million.
Yeah.
That's
You know, which is nuts.
That's
You know,
crazy.
what an F1 goes for. But
Yeah.
look, you know, like with the situation in parking cars, I've caught a lot of grief. And people just have to understand that there's I hate to put it that there's levels to this. You know, this is like the most overused terminology. There's levels to this. And if I park, you know, somebody's 1999 Denali with dubs and, you know, an old sound system in it, you know, I got, you know, the 12s or whatever in the trunk, I have to park other cars like that amongst the supercars.
Yeah.
And that's just not, and it's not even a clean car. It's not well taken care of. It's not fair to the guys who spend a lot of money, you know, taking care of our cars, who hire detailers such as yourself, right? Like you come out to my house every few weeks, 3 weeks or so. Hey, I need this car clean. I need that car clean. Can you take care of this or that? You know, we make our cars very presentable to go to any car show.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not fair for, you know, this F40, and right next to the F40 is a 26-year-old Denali.
Yeah.
That's got peeling paint and all this other stuff, or a Mustang with falling bumpers.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like the benefit of kind of what we're talking about, though, is that someone doesn't have to be salty about it. But if they feel kind of left out, they can go start their own event.
Yeah.
That's niche towards cars and things that they
And
like.
You know what? And they still keep coming back.
Yeah.
They keep coming. Like, they'll get salty. They'll get mad at you. The guy with this is actually a thing. That the Denali thing was a real event. He got salty with me, and he told me this. My car won Festival of Speed. It's like, what? Where? What? Like the local Festival of Speed here in Orlando? It's like the car literally had nothing special about it. He got salty. He went, parked at Spectator. He gave me the stank attitude. He was like, this is BS, and he drove away with his girlfriend. Next thing I know, he's walking around the whole 2 hours. He was there the whole time.
Yeah.
You know? So thank you, but please understand at the same time. Well, here's the thing. Like, if it's a BMW M4 or it's an M3, it could be any M3.
Yeah.
We can go back to E30. You'll park next to a Ferrari all day.
Yeah.
You know, it could be an E36. Yeah, if there's no parking space, take that spot next to the Ferrari. I don't care. But if it's a jalopy, you're not going in. Like you're gonna please park at the spectators. His GT 500 with the carbon pack, especially that thing. It's a rare breed.
Yeah, you don't get to see stuff like that.
At my concourse show, I think I may have mentioned this before. My concourse show, there was a couple of guys who wanted, who had GT 500s, and I was like, "Do you have carbon pack?" He goes, "Yeah, but I have aftermarket wheels on it." It's like, can you do me a favor? Because no, there's a genuine concern, right? Because the carbon fiber wheels, they can go bad after 15,000 miles or something.
Yeah.
So he was like, I preserved them. I was like, for my show, for the concourse, can you mount the wheels on if I put you in the concourse? Because I want your car. Yeah. I want 3 of you guys side by side, and I literally had all 3 carbon pack cars.
That was an awesome event. That was such a good event.
Yeah, that was a cool event.
Yeah.
And I did that. I put 3 GT 500s, all carbon pack, side by side. And it looked sick because right next to those GT 500s, 4 GTs.
Oh,
yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful display. You had, the
Legacy.
Yeah, you had the Legacy, right. You had the new GT, you had the second gen GT, and then I had the replica one, the super performance car, a little bit further down, but it looked beautiful because that is the heritage right there.
Right.
The Shelby heritage, and you've got the Le Mans heritage, right? It looked so cool, and that's what I do. I'm very visual with how I want to organize my shows. Yeah. And if people don't like that, then whatever, I'll take the heat.
Yeah, and it happens a lot, and with the Shelbys especially, or with the Mustang, not Shelbys, but the Mustang.
Yeah, the Shelbys get all the respect in the world.
The Shelby get all the respect, and people don't call it a Mustang; they call it a Shelby.
I'll call it a GT. I'll call it a Shelby.
Yeah, they hardly ever call it a Mustang because it's not a Mustang.
It's not a Mustang. It's so far.
It's the dual clutch transmission. It's got the 5.2 Predator engine. I mean, there's the carbon wheels. Not very many cars have carbon wheels.
It has the taillights and the headlights and the windshield of a Mustang.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But apart that, they're very different cars.
Well, it's like the GTD, right? It's that
crazy car.
Crazy.
I real quick, and before this episode ends, I do want to mention that the biggest mistake I made, guys, was that I didn't think I was going to get an allocation for a GTD, and I pulled out my application on the last round. And I made it all the way to the last round, and then when they wanted a video of why you should get a GTD, having this show, I didn't think at the time was going to be enough to get it.
Wow.
And I pulled my application. And next thing you know, I see allocations being handed everywhere,
dude.
Oh man, now I've been calling all my dealer contacts for Ford. I'm like, if someone doesn't buy it and it's built,
everybody
call
got
me.
it. Like, I don't get it. There's like 4 or 5 in Central Florida that got it. I'm like, why?
There's a red one
so
that's about
weird.
I think in August, someone that I know is going to get a red one.